components of our project here is that we're looking at how berms best management practices have held up over the last 25 years. And on this particular farm, you can see behind me that there's a large berm that has been installed in this field here. And they're in sequence with two other berms down the field as you move to the south, down the slope. We're walking in on the Burton family farm, and what we're doing is going back in and checking out one of the berms that were installed back 25 years ago.
Going down through a cornfield to hopefully find the low spot in the field where the water tends to run. There were a number of erosion control measures put in place on this field about 25 years ago, and the landowner certainly seems to have a good rotation. There's lots of residue on the ground, so things look pretty good here. We're just trying to, again, locate the low spot and see if there's any additional measures we can put in place to help them a bit more. Certainly erosion seems to be important to a lot of farmers, and which is a good thing, and they're looking at ways to solve their problems, and that's a great thing.
Surveying, seeing if the old berms are in need of a replacement or if there's something else that should have been done differently.
Okay, this is the middle berm on the Burton's property. We have one to the north, one in the middle, and then one to the south. It's divided up on the fence lines. They've held up pretty well over time, but in this case here, it needed some maintenance. And what we want to do is eventually pull those rocks out of there and reconstruct this section of the berm to improve the integrity of it.
So far we found that the two upstream berms are built probably quite well. However, they didn't seem to incorporate an overflow spillway to them. Most berms, when you build them, you have to allow that at some point in time they're going to be beyond the capacity of water that they're designed for, and you should allow water to go around the ends of them. We didn't find that in those structures. The spillways were put in place, and unfortunately when they did fill up, water went right over top of the middle of them, and in turn they breached, and now there's some repairs that are necessary as part of those structures.
We're on the property of Gordon and Reed McPherson's, and we're going back to check out these broad-based berms that were constructed earlier this spring. What we're doing here is we're evaluating best management practices, and what we're looking at on my right behind me is a broad-based terrace, a field terrace. As you can see, it extends off into the horizon. It's got 5 inlets that are ponding water behind the broad-based terrace and outletting it into the subsurface drains. It's got a couple unique features, this one, in that you can see that the inlet right beside me here has sort of straws that wick the water down and take it away slowly, versus the next one over, which is a more traditional standpipe with large holes in it. And the difference is that the water wicking inlet apparently filters out more debris, keeping it up on the field as opposed to taking it away down through the subsurface tile.